Boys and girls, this video is a story of my life and how I made the first breakthrough in my dream organization that I always aspired to start my career with, Hindustan Motors, the iconic ambassador manufacturer. I'm a mechanical engineer and was quite passionate about automobile engineering. If you are fascinated about automobile and passionate about this discipline of engineering, this program could be interesting for you. This is, in a way, a story of my life, and at this point of time, I would like to thank some of the people who have significantly contributed in my life and in this journey. First, Ghantada, who was one of our senior. I even don't know his good name. He was a couple of years senior than me in our college, a fine human being, a great soul. Looked tough from outside, but so soft within. He saw me once, we were chatting and with the friends and discussing our concerns and hopelessness of not getting a job and a couple of months waiting to make the first breakthrough. He said, "What the hell you are doing here? Go to Hindustan Motors. Do you know that they are recruiting new engineers?" And he knew that my project in final year of engineering was automobile, and I was quite passionate about it because I came from a family where we had transport business, and I played with pinions and gearbox and the engine components and the differentials were my play toys. That's the life I really lived as a child. So then I went next day. It was 23rd December 1985. When I've gone, it was around 11 o'clock. A lot of boys were there submitting their CVs, coming back, going out, and I inquired about that. Where do I submit my CV? They said, go upstairs. And then I've seen many of them scored more than me. I was in a nice white shirt like this and a nice tie and a blue trouser and a shining shoe. I went up to second floor HR department, submitted my CV. I greeted one gentleman standing there in his white shirt, Shahada and Shorkarda. They were angels in my life, actually. They were impressed with me for sure in the first sight. And he said something that, oh, well, let me have your CV. And he looked at, he said, are you ready for the interview today? I said, well, sir, I am really ready, but it would be great if I get 2 days' time for just going over the subject once again. He said, 4 years you have studied engineering. What the hell you are going to learn more in another 2 days? I said, well, as you suggest, I'm ready for the interview and make an arrangement for me, please. He sent me to one Mr. R.K. Vakil. He was the first one to interview me and he was impressed and he referred me that go to the HR department once again. Tomorrow you are going to have an interview with Mr. B.K. Satapathy, who was the quality assurance and reliability department in charge called quality controller. He was having the highest position and I was required to meet him very next day. It was exciting. 24th December 1985. Early morning I arrived and went to meet Mr. Satapathy. waited. His secretary told me to wait, and it was a big, like a museum of all engine components and gearbox and engine parts. Engine cross section was open, gearbox, differential, and all those. It was kind of a museum, and I was looking at them with curiosity, and I was trying to relate my childhood experience because I've seen differentials and gearboxes. My turn came for the interview after a wait of almost 1 hour, and then interview went. I think he was happy with all the questions that he asked. I could give satisfactory response to all of them. He said, "Well, gentlemen, come and take your results tomorrow from Quality Assurance Department." 25th of December 1985. I went there with a lot of excitement and waited. Shada and Sharkarda told, "No, the result is not yet. Come tomorrow again." Broken Heart went back, came back on 26th December 1985, 11 o'clock. Shada told, "What do you think is the result?" I looked at his face. I could sense it was positive. I said, "Dada, you are the one who knows. I don't really know, but I'm hopeful. I think I did well. The rest is in your hand on those who decides." He said, "Man, you made a breakthrough. You got the job." And it was like the whole world opened out to me. Trust me, that was the one of the happiest moment in life. I got my first job. I thanked them with all my heart, bowed down to them with all thankfulness. I think there are a few drops of tears from my eyes in joy. I said, "Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'll do everything possible to respect your trust and to prove myself as a sincere person, doing everything possible in my capacity to become one of the best QARD engineer." And that was the point I started. So at this point of time, I would like to share some of my experience. There were better boys than me with more scores, more marks. I was, I think, 84, 85%. There are more than 90%. That really doesn't matter. What matters is how confident you look like in front of them, how well prepared you look in front of them, how you attire yourself in front of them. A simple tie, a white shirt, half sleeve with a pen, and a notepad, and a blue trouser or a black one, and shiny shoes shows that you are ready to take up the job. That's the kind of attire and confidence and positivity you must present yourself. Remember, you make your first impression in first 5 to 7 seconds. That may be wrong, but that lasts for long. Make that first impression. Go with full confidence. I wish you all the best. And if you are really looking for a breakthrough in automobile engineering, the upcoming sessions are going to be far more fascinating. And I'm going to talk about IC engines, basics that you have learned, and how do you apply them in automobile engineering, how a car is made from scratch to finish, how you inspect an engine, how you inspect a differential, how you inspect a gearbox, and all those components, for that matter, a whole car itself. I will share my life's experience. right from engine plant, gearbox plant, differential plant, axle plant, casting, and from press shop, body shop, paint shop, BTA, car line, final view, and of course testing and certification. I was quite privileged to work in Hindustan Motors. I was also very, very fortunate to be part of the first Isuzu Ambassador Development Project. I do remember our Prime Minister um, Indira Gandhi ji was assassinated, and after that, Hindustan Motors made first Isuzu Ambassador, an ambassador car with Isuzu engine and gearbox. I was part of that team. I was involved in developing exhaust pipe and how the exhaust arrangement will really look like, how engine will sit on the mounting. I was part of that team. I also was privileged to work in the first luxury car, Contessa a Contessa Classic, and I was a QA/RA engineer in that. And I was also quite fortunate to work with the Japanese engineer from Isuzu, and those experience was really life changing. I'm going to share those experience and also fundamentals of ISO 9001 standard and IATF 16949, the de facto standard for automotive industry, which was QS 9000 initially introduced by Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler, these big three, and they started on that standard, which was specific standard for quality management in automobile industry, which was founded based on ISO 9000 standard. So QS 9001 was ISO 9000 standard applied for automobile engineering, and from there IATF's International Automotive Task Force 16949 standard was introduced, which is a de facto standard for automobile engineering. I'm going to talk about briefly on those two standards so that the training would be how cars are made and a little bit of drawing from your final year or third year of engineering knowledge of IC engines to fine tune it in industrial context and blending it with quality management that is applied in an automobile industry. This will be a fantastic learning and will be one of the most incredible experience. And if you are looking for an automotive company, this would be a life-changing program for you. I would like to see you there in this program. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.